We're back once again. We're completing off more tasks within Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. For instance, starting off for today, quickly finishing off the 155 mile drive in the Daily Driver. That of course being a side task on the map. Largely easy to do, it's something we're all going to do over time. There's a lot we can get through in this game. Like we can see those tasks here, Daily Driver Excursion now completed. Around about 28 still to complete, the vast majority of them already completed. So we still have a lot to get through in this game. But something did twig for me. One thing I've not actually paid any attention to is the story mode of this game. Let me know, have you paid all too much attention to the story mode? We can see we've got 2 points of interest within the Sharps HQ. First of all is Hideki Kato, which of course is going to tell us that we won once again the clan battle for the day, winning off another 50,000 credits, I think it was. Very large 65-34 split there for the Sharps. But as we do move through here, this is one thing I have very largely ignored, and it's the clan battle. Everything that's kind of going on in the back end of the game. We have very poor cutscenes. It takes so long for these guys to start talking. Amisha Parek here, for instance, is our next level that we've got to push through. I think this is for level 10. So it's of course going to be a race, but this is one thing I've very largely stayed away from. I have not actually paid all too much attention to, is pushing forward with the actual story mode, the essential story mode here of the game. We can see we've got a 640 PR Grand Tourer race. Of course, we are going to use the Bentley GT Continental. But it did get me thinking, how many people are actually paying attention to the quote-unquote story mode of this game? It isn't something I have paid too much attention to just yet. I probably do need to start doing more. So the focus for today is going to be advancement within the game. Kicking off first of all with the Bentley GT Continental coming up against that Aston Martin V8 Vantage. I believe that's the Vantage there. One thing that we were torn about when buying the Grand Tourer was between the Bentley and the Aston Martin. Of course, launching it off the line a lot better in the 4-wheel drive Bentley. It does beg the question, is it worth buying any rear-wheel drive car in this game? Let me know, guys, what Grand Tourer you did pick for the game. My first Grand Tourer is, of course, the GT Continental, after using the Mercedes that we're giving with the Gold Pass, rendering that car absolutely useless, far too much power through the back end. So as we can see, pushing through the very first race up against Amisha, no real challenge here. As we do overshoot that right-hander, we can see Amisha ahead, cutting the corner and missing the checkpoint, and stopping, driving down the lane the next again road down from us. Where the hell is Amisha going? Yeah, just totally taking a different route, and she now disappears from the map. So obviously being sent back to the previous checkpoint. The AI is such a mess in this game. It really is. It's not something I want to put too much negativity on, but the AI really needs a lot of improvement. It's just showing on the map now behind us. So sent back, and we're now getting a return to the race route. We've never deviated from it. I don't understand some of the algorithm of the AI in this game. We'll move on. We won't dawn on that one too much. How we deviated from the racetrack, I have absolutely no idea. But we'll push on with this one. Tight left-hander, we've got a taxi in the way. We just get round it, making a mess, jumping over the curbs, but we push on. Amisha is only a couple of turns behind after defaulting on the track. Drop it down the right-hander downhill into another tight right-hander. I don't think we're going to have too much issues here with Amisha. It does appear that her AI is absolutely awful. I really don't understand some of the bugs with the AI in this game. I'm sure everybody else watching this has got the same frustrations as me. For the large part, the AI is not competitive enough. We're on, I think, the highest level, expert level, and the AI really, for the most part, doesn't pose as much of a challenge. Perhaps having to drop down to the Daily Driver class to properly get a challenge, or have a less meta car for the class you're racing. Let's just take the Lamborghini Huracan, for instance, the one I've been using quite a lot recently, has been the less meta car for the game. It is the Aventador or the Countach for the supercar class. Yeah, you could argue that the GT Continental is perhaps one of the meta cars for Grand Tourers, but I don't believe it is. The Porsche Taycan, of course, phenomenally quick, is the meta for the Daily Driver class. But as we can see, blasting away from Amisha here, whether it's her AI, whether it's just the fact that we're in a 4-wheel drive car in Grand Tourer, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that one, guys. Where are we going wrong with AI, or where Are the developers going wrong with AI? As we catch that wall on the outside, drags us onto the next wall, come around this little tight section, cross the line, get this race over and done with, an absolute mess here, but we do beat Amisha, and we do advance in our clan influence, as we can see, hitting level 10. So what next in the clan battles? Is it just a case of constant progression? Are we really going to get much in return apart from a pair of checked jeans? Can't wait to don those. We do return back over to the Sharps HQ, and we can see that we don't have a cutscene, where I thought we would have had a cutscene. So, yeah, improvements could be made. I think we could leave it there. I would have expected some form of a cutscene to tell us, you know, what it is we're doing next, who the next guy in the clan that we're looking to challenge. Something like that would have been good. But we'll push forward, we'll move over, get into a D-class race and increase the clan influence, something that we do really need to start making a bit of progress with here on the channel. This time out, it's a daily driver, Audi TT-RS. We know once again 4-wheel drive is probably the most meta car for daily drivers, but it is one I've spent a lot of money on. Yeah. Another issue I do have with the game, I'm going to quickly touch on this one. We can advance this 900 horsepower, but we can't use it in any form of racing. Why? The max I think I've seen for daily drivers up to 700, but this Audi TT-RS is at 892 RP. Why can't we use it in a game? We should be able to make it variable how much RP we use in races, guys. Let me know if you've got the same frustrations. As we do move forward though, we are in a clan battle here. We can see you know, we've not really got much of a challenge so far. I don't know how well that's going to hold up through the race. Probably just going to carry on pushing away from the AI. Very tricky left-hander here, but it's a very long left-hander over that intersection. As we do come down the right-hand, we've just seen the mini-map there, a very small glimpse. They're about 2 or 3 turns behind us, so as it currently sits, no real challenge from the AI. Nice section here to open up the TT-RS. One thing I did do before we came into this race, I did go in and adjust the gear ratios, something that I was moaning about in the early stages of this game that we couldn't do. Now managing to find the option for adjusting gear ratios, making this one a little bit more focused towards acceleration. I think many people will understand on the daily driver class, the 7th gear in this TT-RS is almost unusable. So bringing those gear ratios down, getting more acceleration into the car, has really proven, you know, top. It's really proven good with this one. We can see we're not getting any challenge from the AI. Had a couple of instant challenges that went my way essentially with the TT-RS coming into this one. Probably should have recorded them as we almost missed that right turner. Yeah, so it appears that maybe not a lot of people are adjusting gear ratios, getting more acceleration focus on some of these cars that really need that to happen. Let me know if you, once again, have been playing about with the gear ratios and what, you know, what the kind of focus has been. Are you looking for, you know, lower final drive, better gear ratios, better acceleration cars, guys? Do let me know if there's a gear ratio setting that I probably should be trying out. Once again, please do let me know. I like to try out different things in the game. As we can see, we're about 30%, 25% left of this race. No challenge from the AI, which is very surprising. Daily driver for me has so far been the most challenging category of races because there's less gap essentially between speeds of the cars, the capabilities of the cars. The daily driver class has been the most competitive race series so far. I'm almost certain everybody watching this will feel the same thing, that the daily driver has been the most competitive race series. As of yet, I haven't tried out the hypercars. We're still pushing towards there. We're not actually far from it. We're about 5 rating from getting into the hypercars, so we'll probably get a video out on those next week. But the daily driver for me in particular has been probably the best set of races. We can see we're just about to cross line of first here, rounding out that daily driver. Very surprised that one wasn't closer than what it was. But as we do talk about races, as we start this race with no volume, very bizarre, as we do talk about races that have been my favourite, I am absolutely in love with the cross-country racing in this game. My chosen choice is the Range Rover Sport SVR. Yes, we know that Sentiero buggy is unbelievably broken, it's ridiculously quick. But I kind of spoke about this when I done the video dedicated to the cross-country races, that I want to use the Range Rover Sport as much as I can, purely from a fun factor. We can see just how lively, how bouncy this one is around corners, with a ridiculous amount of power. I think this one again is about 850 horsepower. more than capable of being very competitive in these off-road races. Like we can see, the AI maybe a turn or two behind us, slightly more competitive than supercars or the hypercars or the Grand Tourers, less competitive I would say personally than the daily drivers, but an immense amount of fun that we do have in these off-road races with the cross-country Range Rover Sport here, as we do come up onto tarmac I believe from this point, maybe it's further on in the race. Regardless, the fun factor driving that Range Rover Sport SVR for me is, you know, one of the key principles behind me using it. Yes, the Sintero buggy is phenomenally quick. I hate how it turns at low speeds and it kind of keeps me away from it. The Range Rover Sport, however, we can put so much power down coming in and out of corners, getting the slides on, watching it jump about across the road surface, or the off-road surface as it is here. Phenomenal amounts of fun. Let me know once again, guys, as we do come onto tarmac, what is your cross-country vehicle choice been? Are you in the buggy? Are you using the Range Rover Sport, the Urus? Let me know. It'd be interesting to see what everybody is using for these off-road races. As we do come downhill here, I can see on the minimap, it does look we have got a jump ahead. We've got to do it. We've got to commit. We've got to do that jump. And that could have gone horribly wrong. We could have ended up in the water. We do still end up hitting a barrier and off track. But we don't end up in the water, so all things are good. They can't put a jump onto a track and expect us not to hit it. That one had to be done, even if it was just for the video. I probably would have done it off video as well, actually. You can't put a jump on a track and expect us not to hit it. We've all played Grand Theft Auto. We've all jumped off the back of those car transporters when they've sat in the ramp up position. So yeah, that one had to be done. Halfway through this race, again, it doesn't feel like we've got much competition with the AI. I would like to see more real players in these races. It's incredibly hard. We've all got this issue that we don't have real racers in our races. When we do get them in, they're quitting. One thing I actually put in the Discord is we bounce off track here. Let's quickly reset on. One thing I did put in Test Drive Unlimited's Discord is there should be a bigger penalty for real racers quitting races, because it ruins everybody's progress, it ruins everybody's experiences. We do end up off the track once again and we do get passed by a Sintero buggy. We're going to have to close that one down. As I try to get that sentence out in the Test Drive Unlimited Discord, I did put a comment into there that there needs to be a bigger penalty of people quitting races, much like EA do in the likes of FIFA or EA Sports. Quitting the matches or quitting the races for this instance needs to have a huge penalty, whether it's money, whether it's XP, whether it's clan influence, whatever it may be. There needs to be a huge penalty for people quitting races. One, it ruins the game experience. Two, it ruins the progression within the game, whether we're trying to do ranked races or instant challenges, whatever it may be. With somebody quitting out of a race, it's ruining the experience of the game, it's ruining the progress of the game. And that for me is something they really need to update. Implement a big penalty on anybody just backing out of the race simply because they're not winning, simply because they fall off the track, whatever it may be. There needs to be a huge penalty because it is ruining the game experience when we actually get into a competitive race, which we already know doesn't happen all too often. Finishing off that cross-country race again, not all too much issue without us driving off the track. We would have been fine. We went off track, we had to reset, we got passed by the Sintero buggy, but we still managed to win. We'll round it out here with a time trial. I believe this one is, it will be a time trial, it's a clan battle. In the GT Continental, we do have semi-slick tyres fitted once again on a wet Hong Kong street as a Range Rover Sport literally just drives in front of us. Fantastic. It does appear that the AI are also having the same issue down there on the minimap, everybody coming together, coming into that turn. Another issue I do have is I don't often look at the road surfaces that we're predicted coming into the races. Yes, there's no clear description, but we can see we do have a rainy, wet road surface here, semi-slick tyres fitted. It's a bit leery in the rain in the GT Continental, but we can have some fun with that. We can see that the AI is absolutely nowhere to be seen. So we can tap that handbrake, that e-brake, swing the back end round, get some four-wheel drifts going on, have a little bit of fun whilst winning the race. We know we're not here to try and get the fastest time every time we're out on the track. Me playing on PC personally, there's far too many cheats on the game that are using those cheats to get very, very, very small times on each race. I've seen races that are literally taking me 3.5 minutes, with people completing them in like 45 seconds using those cheats to be top of leaderboard. Why play a game? Why use those cheats if you're not going to play it properly? I'll leave that one there. Grand Tourers, I love racing these ones, have an immense amount of fun, sliding about semi-slick tyres on a wet track. Tight right-hander here as we just managed to navigate around the taxi approaching us halfway through the race. We can see there's a lack of competition from the AI. Another thing that I will touch on time and time again, I do hope that the developers manage to improve more competitive AI in these races. So as we do skip it just towards the end of this race, pushing through, nothing exciting really happened. We don't have much competition here. Nice hairpin, we can just swing the back end round here, manage to miss the traffic lights as we do push forward to finish out this clan battle in the Bentley GT Continental. Good to get some progression on the board for the clan influence. We can see another 2,500 there, pushing up towards 12. We want to push that forward, get up to 20, get the next challenge ticked off with the clan influence. So we covered off a hell of a lot in today's video, guys. I want to know as much feedback as I can on every single topic we did touch on, with the daily drivers, the Grand Tourers, the cross country, and everything else we did touch on. Please let me know in the comment section down below. Before you do leave it off for today, guys, please also smash the like button, subscribe, tap on the bell so you get notifications. I want to grow this channel. I do have a goal of 1,000 subs. I can only do that with your guys' help. I do hope you have enjoyed today's video, and I will see you tomorrow for another update on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown.